Hey, Bill here, Randall Flag, New York. It's July 4th, 3:23 p.m. Mom's cooking a pie, an apple pie. It's 90 degrees outside, but it's the 4th of July, so we're going over to my sister and brother-in-law's house, my niece and nephew, maybe some of their 18-year-old recently minted high school graduate friends will show up. But, so here's the bathroom as it looks right now. I got my act together and decided to go for it and do another thing that I'd never done before. Get over my fear of failure. Alright, I'll say it. Fear of failure. But there's a bucket full of water. Uh-oh. This OSB is kind of wet, but I've dried it off by hand. Why is it all wet? Well, look at that. Oh, what's that? That's a, well, it looks like some sort of metal hose or something. Whoa, look at that. Holy moly, there's a shower head nozzle thingy. And here is the readjusted shower head nozzle. Now, what I did yesterday and today, well, yesterday really what I did was I took this guy out here, this guy right here, cut and removed him right here, this elbow or this drop head shower or whatever. Took him downstairs and I cut the pecs. Actually, I cut it here, and then I on this one and cut it down here, and then here and here I cut the factory sleeves off with my Dremel and a metal cutting disc. Pulled the pecs off. Made sure that the striations on the inside flange of this fitting here that the pec slides onto. And it just dripped a little bit of water. Okay. Let's just check something here. I'm just checking to make sure the valve is off. So I did that, and I carefully, learning from my first time, what I did was I made this a little long. I crimped this guy right here. This guy was hanging in space with about 3 inches of slack right here. I moved this board in this height up and down, calculating my height, and then I called Mom in, and we found the height where Mother could reach up and lift this guy off and manipulate him. And it's high enough, just high enough, so basically I can get my head. Well, it's like all tall people, especially my nephew, who's even taller than I am, 6'3", I'm about 6 foot. You know, all us tall people, we gotta basically spend our lives bending like this under the shower heads to wash our hair. So Mother said, make it for you. But I knew that everybody else is going to use it eventually, my sister Kathy and the kids, and you know, if the kids use it, I mean, how's a 5 or 10-year-old gonna reach that? But I made it higher than normal. I think the industry suggestion is 6 feet, but I made it. I didn't even measure the exact height. We just moved it to where, you know, it was all right. It was low enough for Mom, and as high as high as possible. Mom still could manipulate it, and that's where it lives. I don't even know the precise dimensions. You know, the height from the floor or the rough floor or the finished floor or whatever. Don't care. Doesn't really matter. Because all we got to do is when we cut the drywall, we just got to find the coordinate from here and down to find the hole for this guy. Then today, and then later yesterday and today, I spent a lot of time working with Teflon tape for here and here. At first, I didn't use this guy. What I did is I used one of those galvanized steel caps that they sell at Home Depot that can't come from China and are poorly made. This guy wouldn't stop leaking. And this guy also had a hell of a time with Teflon tape, getting him to stop leaking and also getting him oriented so he's, you know, the bend is plumb. Just wouldn't stop leaking, so I gave up with Teflon tape. I don't know. I've looked at videos on YouTube, and sometimes Teflon tape works for me and sometimes it just doesn't. I just don't know what the secret is. So what I did is I used my white putty, the plumber's paste, in there, and he looks pretty damn good. He doesn't leak, and I found I rotated. I got it finger tight, and then I rotated. I keep going rotating him so we get him to so he's plumb, and Um, so, and that's the trick, getting it tight, but not too tight, but getting it also so it has to be plumb. So, God put this together, found he leaked, and then I acutely know, sorry if I'm rambling here, I acutely know that if it's leaking, I'm doing something wrong. It's not that the products suck, everything's made in China, and yada yada yada. It's that I'm doing it wrong. So we had a series of different washers, rubber washers to put in here, and in this connection here, this one, and that one right there, and supplied by American Standard. So I finally figured out which washers go where. The directions are, well, basically these parts right here, no directions, none whatsoever. So I basically, through trial and error, I found one that doesn't leak. So if it doesn't leak, it might not be correct. The washers might not be in the right spot, in the right orientation. The washers appeared to be square, not trapezoidal, so they could go in either way, 180 degrees either way. Except for the one with the washer here that had a strainer that went here. And that's like the aerator for the for this guy. So there we are. So that's what's going on today. I got my bucket here catching drips. I think that's about it. I don't think it's leaking. This valve's been tested a long time. He's not leaking. This doesn't leak. This guy right here, I just had to screw him in with Teflon tape, and thankfully he's not leaking. So this guy right here is Teflon tape and the rubber washer. So there we are. So I'm just praying it's leaking and it's dripping here a little bit. I'm just praying that I'm moving this guy by hand. I'm just praying that he's not leaking. That these are just residual drips of water. Let's see. But the hot and cold water work. If you press this button, it has about 4 modes. It has like, 3 streams that interrupt, thumping, and then like fine mist, hard stream. It's pretty interesting, but I don't think I can run it with the camera going. So I think I just saw a drop of water fall from over here. I'm not much of a plumber. I may need help on this. Alright, I'll see you guys later. But basically I'm doing all this. This must. This joint, this one, all of these in the wall must be watertight. Completely. I do not want to entertain the idea of having to crack through tile and the Kerdi membrane and then going in there and fixing things and then having to redo it. So it must be correct before we put the wall in. So quality control and testing is just thorough with this process. Alright, I'll talk to you later. Okay, hi, I'm back. I don't know what time it is. What are you doing, Chaos? Well, I have Chaos's food and water up on the clothes hamper up there. I got a vacuum, but Mother spent some time today painting. She painted some of the trim here. She painted, the baseboard over here. We have the doorknob off. We got the striker plate over there. It's bronze. It's got to be polished. She's painted the steps, the treads, or the risers. Sorry, the risers. And I helped her paint some of the high spots on the moldings over here. Painting over here, and I also helped her paint somewhere up the high parts up there. So this wall is really, it's almost, I think she's painted the moldings. Actually this baseboard needs to be second coat. But we're getting there. Tomorrow we're probably going to go shopping for paintable wallpaper, so this could get, well, it could get wallpaper tomorrow, but probably, no, tomorrow is pottery. Mother goes to pottery tomorrow, so Friday maybe. So I could get, by next weekend we could paper it, and we might continue the paper over here. Maybe we could paper all the way down to there. So Something not too expensive, and then she can faux paint. But that's what's going on right now. Mother's making the apple pie, and I think some hors d'oeuvres. Chaos wants maybe a nibble, and I gotta vacuum the floor and clean up the papers here. Gotta clean the landing here up the stairs and down the hallway. Take a shower and probably go and get some soda. Gotta go to the market. Oh, you're cute. He's just cute. Thanks.